Detroit, and you know what that means. Detroit media icon Ryan Ermanni, University of Michigan great Braylon Edwards, and of course, Maz are about to take over on Woodward Sports. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m., it's the best Detroit sports talk on Detroit's best sports network, Woodward Sports.
Hey, let's go! Monday show, April 15, 2024. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com, fox2detroit.com, and the Fox Local app if you're watching live. If you're watching on YouTube, hello to the 63,000 subscribers we have on this platform. Hit the like button, subscribe to Woodward Sports. Braylon Edwards, good afternoon to you, my friend.
What's up, my guy? It is indeed a good afternoon. Always be here to be good with you guys. Just enjoying it, man. Chill weekend. We just talked about it, man. What is it about having a girlfriend or a wife around in mind? I'm finding out, man.
Oh, man.
I'm finding out that their schedule becomes your schedule. So whatever you had or you thought you were going to do, thought I was going to have a nice, easy weekend.
Doesn't exist.
Maz watching the Masters. Thought I was going to watch my boy Scotty Scheffler. Not at birthday parties, concerts in Grand Rapids, school in the morning. Ugh.
Does not happen.
It was fun, though.
Tom Masway, good afternoon to you. Did you get those taxes in, Tom?
I'm done, man. I got them in. Finally sent the state ones in. Put them in the mailbox last night. So I hit the deadline. The other ones you do online. This one I owed a few bucks, so I took my time and
I never paid to the last day, though.
Well,
not going to let the government get interest on my money.
Well, as long as it's yeah.
Right. But I'm not going to pay them on the April 1st.
Correct.
I'm going to wait till April 15th.
That's what I did.
It's like my
Keep
taxes.
it in your bank
it's like
account.
my taxes in the city.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pay. You get a tax bill twice a year. What is it? February and whatever. November or whatever.
You get summer and winter.
Summer and winter. February 9th, let's just say, for instance. Taxes are due February 9th. They ain't getting it on February 8th. They're getting it on February 9th.
Mine's included.
That's just the way it goes.
I include mine.
Oh,
I don't want to think about it.
No, yeah.
You got to make them wait. You got to make them wait, man. I like it on the 9th as well, Ryan.
That's seriously.
I got big news, man.
Oh, you got breaking news?
I got breaking news. Do you know that General Motors is set to leave the Renaissance Center and go to the new Hudson's building, which will open up later this year?
I am not shocked by this news. General Motors absolutely had to leave the RenCen. It is a ghost town in the RenCen. General Motors has people working at the Warren Tech Center in that area. So I'm not even sure where, what is happening with General Motors. Obviously, they want a presence for a headquarters in downtown Detroit. You don't have this shiny new building, state-of-the-art building going up in the Hudson's building, and then you've got this listen, it's kind of like I could talk about my mama, but you can't talk about my mama.
Gotcha.
The RenCen is just a decrepit building.
It is.
It's a decrepit building. It's damn near 50 years old, and it is just not that great of a building to call it. It's our building. Yeah. It was the tallest building in Detroit.
It was
until the Hudson's building has been built. But it is time for General Motors to move out. I'm not shocked by this. Dan Gilbert. I talked to a guy 3 years ago that said, I told you this story, Maz.
Yeah.
That said Dan Gilbert tried to buy the RenCen because he wanted to knock it down. And they would not sell it to him. And I don't want to say I guarantee it, but I guarantee that RenCen is going to get knocked down.
Oh, that's sad.
I am almost positive that once GM moves out of the RenCen, that thing's going to get knocked down within 5 years.
It will, and now
just my opinion.
It will, and now you'll be dumb because he had tried to buy it from the city. Now they'll have to knock it down for free. The building's been going bad for a long time. I remember my grandma used to work there when Ford was there, Ryan. They had the movie theater, they had all the shops, the hotel was up to par, that Marriott you had. Everything was nice. Everything was up to par. Slowly but surely, you start seeing things leave stores, shops, grocery stores, you know what I'm saying? They move food restaurants, they leave the movie theater left. They've been going down for a long time. Joe Muir's probably is the only thing that saves that building, man.
Yeah.
Am I correct?
You're on. There's
It's
a
the
nice
only
restaurant.
reason I go down there.
There's a restaurant on the
100%.
top as well. I forgot the
The
name of it.
Highlands, I've never been. I don't even know if it's the Highlands anymore. Is it still the
Highlands,
Highlands?
yes.
It's still the
Highlands.
Highlands.
Used to be
Coach Insignia.
Coach Insignia. That's what it was.
Insignia, yeah.
You take that elevator ride up.
3
and you're-
minutes.
and you're seeing the
72
city.
floors.
I mean, but that's the skyline.
That might
You're
be
gonna-
the skyline then, but I'll tell you, if you just look what's right before that, Tom Mazaway, there's that water, the Detroit River, the development that you could have along that entire riverfront,
Condos.
if that building is not there anymore, is a completely new imagined, a completely reimagined Detroit.
Condos, restaurants, retail.
Absolutely. You want to go eat on the water, you know where you're going? Sinbad's.
Yeah.
Or the Rooster Tail.
That's it.
Or something like that. That is it.
You're
That
right.
is a shame. And I think they tried to do something with Belle Isle at some
They
point
did.
and never came to fruition. And I think that building is going down, and I think they would make some sort of major development along that Detroit riverfront.
So all of those buildings around the Rensen, they're all going to come down?
all of them.
They're all connected. The
Yeah.
ones
It's
that are
all the
connected.
same
Jesus.
building.
But, Maz, I think for the longest time in Detroit, we held on to the Renaissance Center because when you look at the skyline from the air, when you look at it from the water, like that's all we really had was the Renaissance Center. It didn't have anything else. I think the way they're building downtown now with the Hudson Project, Campus Marshes, building along and around it, I think what Ryan is talking about, those condos off the water, now you get restaurants off the, there's nowhere to eat outside downtown. Nowhere to eat.
Jeez.
You knock that
No, I
down,
know, you're
ton of
right.
room to eat, and you be right off the water.
sad,
you can,
though.
You can bring the boats up.
Can you imagine also, like, you know, you played in New York.
Yeah.
You go to Chicago, you're wearing the White Sox pullover.
Yeah.
Do you know how many skyscrapers go up, it seems like, every 5 years?
Five.
A
New
million.
York skyline, to me, when I was a kid to now, it's completely different. There's no room anymore, yet more buildings are popping up
They find
every
those-
day.
And to think that is the last skyscraper that went up in the city of Detroit before Hudson's, that's 47 years old, that building.
Yeah.
You know, and I love the Rensen,
Yeah.
but let's
The most confusing building I've ever been
Two
in.
things
in my
can be
life.
true.
Yeah, both
Yeah.
things can be true.
Agree with you.
You know what I'm saying? So I would not be shocked if that thing is knocked down within 5 years. I would not be. And then you have that major development down there along the riverfront, and you really see this reimagining of Detroit.
I hope they don't wait that long, Ryan.
Yeah.
To be honest, I hope they don't wait that long. If you know, you know.
They
2
won't.
years.
They won't.
2 years, knock it down. Let's get ahead of the curve.
Dan
Yeah.
Gilbert gets his hands on that thing, it's done.
Yeah, there's no doubt. So you know what else just completely knocked down to the ground? The Detroit Pistons, guys. Their season mercifully came to an end. It was the most losses in franchise history for them. For the second straight year, they have clinched the worst record in all of the NBA, 14 wins behind 68 losses. It is just an embarrassment what has happened to this franchise. Kate Cunningham today at the season-ending press conferences talked about the guys. They didn't have the season they wanted, but nobody quit. Nobody. Go ahead. Yep.
Really,
No.
everybody that's been here. You really see what people are. You really see what your teammates are made out of. You see what everybody's made out of. Coaches, support staff, everybody. So I feel like the fact that we were able to come back each day, and some of the craziest times probably any team has seen in the NBA. The fact we were able to come back and work hard, still put smiles on our face and be optimistic about next game, next day, whatever it is, that really helped us get through the season. I feel like if we had quit, the season might still be going on right now. But I'm just thankful for everybody sticking to it. We didn't have anybody quit on us or any of that, which I feel like you would see that more so with a lot of teams, but we had a lot of guys that stuck with it.
Mazarin, let me start here. I'll say you got to appreciate the players. You have to appreciate the players. We can talk all we want to about Tom Gores, about Troy Weaver, about Monty Williams even, but the players had to go out there and play regardless of who lines up, who was healthy, who was drafted to the Detroit team. They had to go out there and they had to play. And a lot of times you saw them, they were in the fights. They tried to give it all they had. They just didn't have enough at the end to win those games. You look at Cade Cunningham, 22 points a game this year, 4.5 rebounds, and then he had 7.5 assists. So he gave it all he had when he was on the court. So you can't necessarily fault the players. Now, with that being said, this team, man, we talked about it. We don't think it's going to turn around for a long time, but they got to change. I mean, from Monty Williams not playing Jaden Ivey over Killian Haynes early in the season. I mean, that lasted 35 games, to the draft picks, to the players in which we've moved, which we've kept. And then also it starts at the top with Tom Gores. We're just beating a dead horse with this franchise, man. But the players, want to put that on record, they can only do what they can do, and that's only so much.
Yes and no. I agree with you. I agree with you in one respect, but at the same time, I do think guys quit out there. I think Monty Williams quit a little bit too.
I agree with that.
I think Monty Williams quit. Yeah, I tuned in yesterday to a little bit. I was getting my back patio together, and I had the game on. I was flipping back and forth between a number of different things: Tigers, Pistons, the Masters. I was just going back and forth. I'm watching TV. Greg, and again, this could be totally nitpicking, okay? And I accept that charge if I'm totally nitpicking here. Every single time they showed Greg Popovich standing up on the coaching the guy.
Yeah, he's engaged.
Yeah. Every single cutaway for Monty Williams, he was sitting on the bench with a blank stare. And it was like, and then even not on the cutaways, when the action is going back and forth in front of the benches. I see Popovich at 172 years old, standing up,
Rocky Mouse 175,
coaching his guys.
Yeah.
And Monty Williams just sitting there with a blank stare on his face. He'd get up once in a while, Do
you blame him?
Then he'd go sit there. Yes. Because
you think the team he's coaching now is going to be here next year?
I'll tell you why, Tom Mazaway, and I'm going to relate it to the Detroit Lions and Dan Campbell.
3-13-1, yeah.
3-13-1, 0-10. But it was an expectation that Dan Campbell set each and every time he entered a building, and each and every time a player or any member of that organization walked into that building. It was an expectation of how you handle yourself. Yeah. Each and every time. At 3-13-1, at 0-10, at 0-7, at 1-10-1, that's the expectation. And I don't care whether you're going to be here next year or in 5 years or not in 5 minutes. When you are a member of the Detroit Pistons, whether you got a 10-day call-up or not, this is how you conduct your business. In 34% of the losses by the Detroit Pistons, 23 of 68 losses were by 18 points or more. 23 of 68 losses were by 18 points or more. You know how many times they lost the game by 5 or less?
3.
6.
Oh, close.
They lost almost 4 times as much by 18 than they lost by 5 or less. That is embarrassment. That to me says you do quit at the end of games.
That's real.
I mean, that's just data. And mind you, that's not double-digit losses. I wanted to go up to like 18, 20 a game.
Right.
You know what I mean?
True.
Like that's not even. And I know the talent deficit. There's a big deficit in talent. But I mean, come on. And I put that on like Troy Weaver aside, okay?
Right.
Troy Weaver aside. Troy's gone. And if he's not gone, it's like, who cares? Because it's not like even if you fire Troy Weaver.
He's showing you they don't care if they don't fire him.
Right. You're showing me you don't care if you don't fire him. But at the same time, I have zero confidence. Zero. Not even 0.5.
Yeah.
Okay? Not even 0.5 that if Troy Weaver gets fired, that Tom Gores will be able to hire the right guy. And by the way, it's not just Troy Weaver. He must get rid of Arntellum as well. You have to completely blow it up. You need completely new leadership for the Detroit Pistons. This was a once proud franchise. It is no longer a proud franchise. Ever since Tom Gores took over, it's just not. So, Now you look at the head coach that is the highest paid coach in the NBA. It is incumbent upon you to show people like Gores, like whoever else is in this front office, what the expectation is when you walk in that building. Players, I don't care. It's like Major League.
Okay.
I don't care what's happening in the owner's box. When you come in this clubhouse, Lou Brown's got you. You're playing for Lou Brown.
Yeah.
And for you young kids out there, that is a Major League reference.
I agree with you 100%. I agree with everything you said. The reason why I disconnected the players from that, because if everything you say is true, which it is, you see the body language of Monty Williams, he's not there, whether it's his situation with his family, whether it's the Pistons situation, whether it's not really wanting to be a coach, whatever it is, his body language tells you the whole story. If you're a player and you see that body language all the time, like I'm looking at that body language in practice, I'm looking at a guy doing press conferences. It doesn't seem like he wants to be there. If I'm watching the TV copy of the game, I'm watching my coach not get up, not challenge, not get in the ref's face, staying the whole game, really like you just laid it out. Then how is my energy going to change? How am I going to try to finish the game as a player when the head man, you said it yourself, Dan Campbell's guys, 3-13-1, 0-10, 1-10-11, but Dan Campbell never changed. And when your head man is attitude and his emotion, when his is there, when he's being accountable for what he says, then I can listen to that guy, I can follow that guy, and I can give the same amount of energy. But if my head guy, who in this case is Monty Williams, the head coach of the Pistons, if he's not giving that energy, eventually as a player, Ryan, it just goes out of you. It just it happens that way. The head guy has got to be that. Whether you suck or whether you're good, you follow the head guy. And this head guy right now, he's not giving those Pistons much to follow.
Okay, here you go, Ryan. And Bray. Monty Williams and Greg Popovich. One guy is one of the great coaches of all time. The other one is the highest paid coach of all time, known as a gentleman, known as a good man. We all know he took the money. He probably didn't want to. He took it, and he has been abused all season. His energy level is minus 100. He's got nothing left.
Yeah.
And he is showing Tom Gores by not getting up, not coaching this team, look, man, I got nothing left. You either do something about this whole thing or just pay me and I'm getting the hell out of here. Greg Popovich on the other side stole the number one pick, could be the best player in NBA history when it's all said and done, in Victor Wembanyama. He didn't play yesterday.
Watch him get the number one pick again, by the way, yeah. San Antonio.
They won't, but they'll probably throw the Pistons a crumb this time, and it won't matter, right? You guys said
nobody there.
They lost by 28 points last night to a Spurs team that was not playing.
Also lost 60 games.
Yeah, not lost. It's the second. They clinched the worst record in the NBA for the second straight year.
Think about that.
Wait
a minute. They lost by 28 points to a team that lost 60 games.
Correct.
And there it is.
And how about ending the season against a team that stole your heart, that stole the guy that you worked so hard to get last year? You dumped to get the number one pick, and you didn't get it. And the team that got it, you finish in the season with, and you lose by 28 freaking points, and the guy wasn't even on the court. They're a mess. There's no way Monty Williams wants to be here. He doesn't. So let the man go home. Settle with him. Let him go home to his family. Hire a young coach and get this thing going again just start from scratch. Everyone's got to go. I mean everyone. I mean PR. I mean everything. You got to start from scratch.
Quick pivot, and I'm going to get back to a question I want to ask you, Ryan Ermanni. We're going to look back at this Victor Wembanyama year, Maz. It won't be this year. It won't be next year. It won't be 5 years from now. It may be 7, maybe 10, however long it's going to take, and realize how dominant he really was. Like, you called it, Ryan, last week when you said you saw him on a 3-on-1, and he stopped the ball with 3 guys coming down. They couldn't get a shot off, and he got the rebound. Like, Maz, he's 21 points a night, 21.6 to be exact. He's 4 blocks a night. He's 11 rebounds a night. He's 4 assists a night. Like, he's 3 steals a night.
He's a freak.
It's uncharted territory what he's able to do. But asking you a question, Ryan. If you're Sheila Hamp and you're the Detroit Lions, you want all the teams to do well in the city, I would think. Obviously, you care about yours the most. Mm-hmm. Would it be worth a phone call from Sheila Hamp? Or would it be worth Troy Gores phoning Sheila Hamp and sitting down and say, how did you get from here to here? Mm-hmm. Like, how did you get from sugar to you know what? What was your process and how did you go about doing it? Because I think people that are successful, whether you make more of them or less, you should always want to pick their brain. I would do that if I was Tom Gores.
I was hoping that you were going to say that she'd call him and say, look, let me buy the team off you.
That too.
that I'd rather
I don't
have.
think you can own two franchises in the same city, though. I think that's the stip. I don't think you can.
The
well, I guess
a lot of people do.
Illich, yeah, you're right.
A lot of people
This
do.
is true. I'm tripping.
Just you want to peel your fingernails off too a little bit more. Last year, the Houston Rockets were 22-60. They lost 60 games last year. The Houston Rockets.
Put up the standings, Pete.
They didn't get the number 1 pick. They didn't get the number 2 pick. They didn't get the number 3 pick. They got the number 4 pick. They took Amen Thompson, Asar Thompson's brother.
Right.
Do you know what the Houston Rockets did in the offseason? Couple of signings.
Added Fred VanVleet.
Added a veteran guard.
Yep. That has won a championship.
Fred VanVleet. Simple, right?
Yeah.
41-41. They did not make the playoffs,
but they're right
but this
there.
is a team that was right there until the end and finished the year 41-41. And you know what? They are a team on the rise.
Yeah, they are.
They got the Boston Celtics coach.
They do.
What's his name?
Udoka.
Ime
Udoka.
And that's how you turn it around.
Yeah.
By the way, the Orlando Magic.
There you go. Number 5 in the East.
Right? The Orlando Magic. Last year lost 48 games. Year before that lost like 60 games.
60, yeah.
They're the number 47 wins this year, 5 seed in the East. It ain't hard, and I use ain't for effect. This is complete, just utter, downright miserable leadership, incompetence in how you build a team. And you know what? Even if they get the number 1 pick this year, who cares? You're going to rely on some 18, 19-year-old kid to pair up with another 19-year-old kid and a 20-year-old kid and another 21-year-old kid and maybe a 22-year-old kid?
Kids.
Come on, man.
You got the Kentucky Wildcats. That's what you got.
You don't even have that because Kentucky at least wins games in the regular season. You know,
yeah, this is true.
That would be the OKC Thunder. Oklahoma City's a younger team.
They're number 1.
They're the number 1 seed in the West. We'll see how they do in the playoffs.
Didn't make the playoffs last year. Didn't make the playoffs
Who used to be their GM? I've said this before.
Troy Weaver.
He's gone, and look at him.
Yeah, right.
Look at him.
You know, I mean, it's just so hard to sit and wait a minute. It's 2:22 on April 15th. How is Troy Weaver still employed?
No, not a peep. Not a peep has come out about a potential to make a move with him.
What are you thinking about? Didn't you have the last 2 months to think about? James L. Edwards III, one of the Pistons beat guys, sources. With the worst season in franchise history coming to a close today, Pistons owner Tom Gores is considering sweeping changes, including hiring a new president of basketball operations inside Detroit's worst season ever. And why change is likely coming. How is change likely not happen?
How
already this morning? First thing, what do you got to think about?
Head of basketball operations. That doesn't sound like they're removing Troy Weaver. That sounds like they're adding somebody else to an already desperate situation and not removing Troy Weaver.
You know what's interesting to me? I've always found this to be really interesting. And, you know, I'm sure there's cases of pure luck, but how owners like Gores, you know how to run a business.
Yeah.
You have proven that you know how to run a business. You are very successful in the business world. At that point, how can't you translate that to professional sports? Like you are such a smart guy. I'm sorry, unless you are lucky and you win the $1 billion lottery.
Yeah.
To be a billionaire, I don't think there's too many dumb billionaires. Okay, I think you have to have an IQ and a brain that is a lot larger than the average Joe.
Yeah.
To make the moves, to be as direct, and to make that amount of money, you have to be a smart guy, in my opinion.
I think
how you can't translate that, Bray, I'll never understand.
Well, maybe it's because when you cut corners, when you make your successes or you make your money or you make your angles, when you're doing things that cut corners or where you can deviate and sneak around rules and get by this and come up, when you can do that and buy certain situations out and throw money at situations, well, money creates more money. But in the NBA, to be an owner, you got to be boots on ground. You got to know what's going on. You have to be invested. You have to know exactly what the player is, what the situation is, how much money can I spend this year versus this year. You got to actually care realistically. And I think that's the problem. One, the NBA or any professional franchise, like, it's a little different to win at that level. It's a little different to have success that way because it's not just, I think just rules like way to get around the system. Like, you want to create a successful franchise, you can't get around the system. You got to hire people that know what they're doing. You got to be competent. You got to be around. You got to be on the ground. And you got to really want that to happen. I think he makes money and makes a lot of it. You make it without doing anything, without winning, without investing. If I don't care about this franchise, if I don't care about this city, and I got a cash cow that's still making me money, even with their record being 18 and whatever the record is, that's what the Lions did for many years. They didn't care about the record. And I think that's what Tom Gores is in a way worse way.
Greg Patterson in the WoodwardSports.com chat says, y'all sound dumb talking about basketball. Y'all don't watch and really don't care about the Pistons for real. Don't speak on the Rockets or Magic. Both teams got quality vets. Hello.
We said that.
Greg, isn't that exactly what we're saying?
Y'all.
Isn't that what we're talking about as to why Troy Weaver has no idea how to build a team and how you don't need any young guys?
How long has
Greg?
Troy Weaver been here? How many years has he had opportunities to provide those vets? And the only vet he provided was Bojan Bogdanovic, who you got rid of a year too late. Relax on that.
We just referenced Fred VanVleet as a veteran point guard to help lead a young team. Like, you have to be direct in how you build a team. And just adding a bunch of young, talented kids is not the way to do that. I don't know how better to say that than that. What about Dylan Brooks? Veteran guy on that team as well. Hell, Jeff Green is a beautiful veteran that fits in well with that young
100%,
team.
Yeah.
If you just want to look up and down the Houston roster.
And they got a coach that's
I want to let Derrick Rose go, be honest.
They got a coach who was one of the better coaches in the league. He would not have been fired from Boston had it not been for extracurricular activities.
Situation.
The Rockets got themselves a hell of a coach. And Monty Williams was a hell of a coach. But he wasn't ready for this type of team. He was not ready for this group of kids. And like I said, you probably would have been better off bringing in John Calipari to coach this team.
But I mean, even the Orlando Magic, okay, Gary Harris at shooting guard. You've got Jonathan Isaac, a veteran power forward. You've got Joe Ingles, a veteran shooting guard. I mean, it's how you and as somebody pointed out in the chat, Paulo Banchero is just a better player than Cade Cunningham.
Yeah, we know that. Yeah,
and that is true. The Pistons, sorry, you know what, Cade? Cade is not a number one overall pick. It's just not. I love Cade Cunningham. I think he's going to be a good player, but he's not going to be a number one type player on a championship team. He's not going to be a number one option on a championship team.
What does Braylon always say about the Red Wings? They don't have that guy.
They don't have that guy. 100%. But we know that Paulo Banchero is much better than Cade Cunningham. But what about, it was a guy named Halliburton. His name's coming from
Halliburton.
But instead we drafted Killian Hayes, so it goes back to Troy Weaver. It goes back to poor draft choices. If you draft Tyrese Halliburton and you put him with Cade Cunningham, Pistons might have something with Jalen Duren. Maybe
you've got the Indiana Pacers.
100%. But that didn't happen. It falls back on Troy Weaver, which we're trying to tell you. We know what's going on at the Palace. And it ain't the Palace.
By the way, what did the Indiana Pacers do midseason?
Made a big trade.
They got Pascal Siakam.
In
the middle of the season.
Winner.
A champion, a veteran, a force.
All-star.
I mean,
big upgrade.
And by the way, they're going to win that first-round playoff series against the Milwaukee Bucks.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
Don't be surprised if the Indiana Pacers take down Damian Lillard, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Haven't seen Giannis in the playoff space in a very long time dominating. In fact, he hasn't dominated since they won
And he's
3
hurt.
years ago. And he's hurt. He's nicked up. He's bruised. If you look the last couple of times, they were a 1 seed and lost to an 8.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't made it out the first round the last 2 times.
I want to stick with the NBA if we could a little bit longer, because I think if you're the Los Angeles Lakers, and this was going around today a lot yesterday, I said it, the very first thing I said, because I was watching that Lakers game on ESPN a little bit, the Lakers have to lose the play-in game, and I'll tell you why coming up next. But first, a message from
Merch.
us here at WSN with Wake Up Woodward, our friend.
That's right, everybody. Wake up, Woodward. It's here on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports, 8 to 10 a.m., Monday through Friday. You can join the great Matt Broder, Sam Flannel, Kool-Aid, JB, and KG every Monday through Friday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. Again, right here on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports, and we shall return.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week, walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Thank you to the Detroit Lions and Sheila Ham for the best season in Lions history. Now it's time to let Brad Holmes cook. Woodward Sports.
All right, Woodward Sports and Shake Shack want to remind you that football season is year-round. Win 2 tickets to the Detroit home opener. That's right, the Kings in the North, the Detroit Lions. Shake Shack is giving you the opportunity to win 2 tickets to the home opener. All you got to do is scan the QR code right there on the screen. Scan the QR code or go to woodwardsports.com. But the best way to do it is just go to Shake Shack, get yourself a sandwich, and register in person. Shake Shack QB Challenge.
All right, so for those of you that don't understand the play-in,
Right.
okay, in the NBA playoff, it's a couple of years old, but let me try to break this down for you as simple as I can. Maz, do you understand the play-in?
No.
Braylon, do you understand the play-in?
I do.
Okay. If you don't understand the play-in,
I
7,
do.
8, 9, 10, okay?
Yes.
So the 7 seed is the Los Angeles, excuse me, no. The 7 seed is the New Orleans Pelicans. They will
Fly,
host
Pelicans.
the 8 seed Los Angeles Lakers. The 9 seed is Sacramento. They will host the 10 seed Golden State Warriors. That's not 7 versus 10, 8 versus 9. That's not how it works. 7 plays 8, 1 game. Whoever wins that game is the 7 seed in the playoffs. The loser then will play the winner
See where you're going.
of
9-10.
9-10. The loser of 9-10 out. Okay?
The winner is 8.
The winner of
9-10 is 8.
the winner of 9-10 versus the loser
Yeah.
of 7-8 plays for the 8th
There we
seed.
go.
So I contend that the Los Angeles Lakers should absolutely try to lose this play-in game against the New Orleans Pelicans, because the 7 seed plays the defending champion Denver Nuggets in round 1.
100%.
There is one team that the LA Lakers cannot beat in this tournament. That's the Denver Nuggets. And the Lakers, if they get the 8 seed, yes, they get the 1-seeded OKC Thunder.
They can beat them.
Let me read for you some of the ages of the OKC Thunder, okay?
SGA.
20, 24, 24, 21, 25, Gordon Hayward's 31. 21. I mean, I'm just talking about some of the younger guys. Of course, they've got like Bismack Biyombo, because, of course, you need veterans
Right.
to go with the young players. Bismack Biyombo, 31. Gordon Hayward, 34. Mike Muscala, 32. But they are so young and haven't been to the playoffs before, this group. You think they go up against LeBron James in round one? You think that's going to – LeBron is waltzing through that series. I don't know if that's waltzing through. But the Lakers have a much better chance to win a playoff series against the younger OKC Thunder than they do against the defending champion Denver Nuggets. I'm not a betting man, but if I was, I'll tell you, tomorrow night,
Bet the Pelicans.
New Orleans is going to pound the Lakers. I think they win by 12, 15 points because the Lakers are going to try to lose that game.
It definitely would be. I don't know if you try, but if you do lose, you definitely are happy you lost because you do have a better chance to play against OKC.
I wouldn't play LeBron.
You have to make it look like you win.
Why? I'd sit out.
Nah, I wouldn't go that far.
You can't do that.
I'd sit him out.
The reason why, though, OKC, LeBron, yes, LeBron has experience. AD has a championship as well with LeBron and the Lakers in the COVID year. Asterisk if you want to. But with that being said, man, that OKC team is nice. The OKC team, they may be young, but Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he's a monster. He's a player. Chet Holmgren's starting to come into his own a little bit. The Lakers got to win game one. If the Lakers don't win game one, they're in trouble because that's how they lost in the playoffs last year. That's how they were down in those game twos. They ran out of steam towards the end of the playoffs. And AD, he runs out of steam in game two each playoff series. So if the Lakers go down 0-2, it's a wrap.
That's if they get to that series.
Yeah. Well, I'm just following out his scenario.
Ryan is saying that they are going to lose tomorrow, and it's better for them to lose to New Orleans, so they would face the number one seeded Thunder instead of facing the number two seeded Denver Nuggets, who had the same record as OKC, but OKC wins it on a tiebreaker. So that's how they got to be the number one seed. They both have the identical record.
I don't know if you test fate like that, Maz.
Nah.
But, I mean, you've got to play the percentages, don't you?
You do.
I mean, if you're LeBron James and you're trying to win a championship, maybe this is it. Maybe this is the last time you actually really, truly have an opportunity to win the NBA championship.
He almost had a triple-double yesterday.
He's
as
so
old
good.
as he is, 39 and change. And what did he drop? 29 points yesterday?
He's so good.
He's still playing top of his game.
He's Tom Brady, really. No. I mean, Tom Brady was a top 3 quarterback when he left the game.
Yeah, top 2.
LeBron James still a top 3 player in the NBA. Maybe even the best player in the NBA. Really, when you're talking about the whole encompassing,
the whole
he doesn't really
position.
play a ton of defense, but nonetheless, I mean,
but he makes up for it though, in terms of getting people involved,
right.
no one rebounding, assisting. Like he makes up for it.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just think there's the heck of an opportunity for something funky to go by the wayside there in the NBA.
Yeah, 100%.
That's good that you brought up the way the playing game works. So I
you
did know
when
it first came out. I did know, and then I've just lost so much interest in the NBA that I don't even care. But
I'll tell you why. The Pistons suck.
Yeah,
I'm telling you,
I just don't care.
When your team sucks, it is harder to, other than the NFL and college football, because football is king. But in baseball, basketball, and hockey, when your team is no good, I pay much less attention to that particular league when your team is no good. And that's kind of how I felt about the NHL for so many years. Yeah. And that's how I felt about the NBA for so many years.
That's how we felt about the Super Bowl.
And baseball, actually, too.
As a city, we didn't really give a damn about the Super Bowl this year.
You love the Super Bowl. You just hate that the Lions suck more so on that one.
No, I'm talking about this past year.
Oh, 100%.
How close
nobody
they were.
Tuned in. Nobody tuned in. Definitely nobody tuned into that. But also, I think with basketball, you got to start enjoying the play-in tournament match because you look at it this way. Warriors were in the playoff the play-in game last year and were good as well. The Lakers were in the play-in last year, got all the way to the Western Conference Finals, and you can see a similar thing maybe happen this time. So it actually has been okay. Like, I'm not a fan for change like that. I still hate this college football playoff system, but this has actually been pretty good the last 2 years.
I think the Warriors are kind of done. Whether they beat Sacramento or not, I think they're kind of done. I think
Jordan Poole move crushed them.
I think that that team is really reminiscent of the early to mid 90s Pistons, like the 92 Pistons.
Okay.
Great call.
After
Isaiah got hurt.
Yeah, I mean, so you won your 2 championships, 89, 90, and then you come and you lose in the Eastern Conference Finals in 91, and I think they lost in the first round of the playoffs in 92.
So Zeke got hurt.
This feels like the Warriors feel like the 92 Pistons. It's just done.
That's a good
I think
call.
Clay will leave in the offseason. Draymond's fine. Draymond's a good player, but he can't do what he used to be able to do. Steph is good, knock you out a couple of times, but
Question, Steph.
Mhm.
With Steph Curry now. Let's say it is the end. If you're Steph Curry, do you go somewhere else? Because Steph still can hoop. Steph's still playing at a high level, much like LeBron is. Do you go somewhere else, or do you just stay with the franchise and kind of leave it there?
man, that's a great question
Yeah.
because it's not a LeBron situation.
He still can play.
LeBron played and then he left and then he left again. You know what I mean?
Right.
LeBron left Cleveland once. Then he went to Miami, left Miami. Then he went to Cleveland, then he left Cleveland. Like, that's a pattern that he did. When you've played for one team for your entire career and you are that team, like I don't think Isaiah Thomas could have ever played in another uniform other than the Detroit Pistons.
Yeah.
I don't think Steph Curry could play for another team other than the Golden State Warriors. I mean, I don't know about legacy. I don't know. I mean, I don't think Steph goes and chases a title somewhere. He doesn't need it. It's just not who he is.
Maybe it's like somebody he ever wanted to play with, like link
Right.
up with. Excuse me, pause.
But it's kind of like it's funny. But that's almost kind of like Bray. He's played with everybody he wanted to play with. He played
KD,
played with Chris Paul, right?
True, this is true.
Played
His
with-
arch nemesis.
Right. Played with Klay Thompson. Played with
Draymond,
Green, KD, Kevin Durant.
Yeah,
Exactly.
this is true.
I mean, he's everything that you would want to do. People have gone there. Like if you want,
they came to you.
right? They came to you. You didn't have to go to them because you're so ingrained in that culture. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, it'd be fun to see Steph in another uniform, like with another team. But to your point, it's kind of like Kobe.
Yeah.
Like you didn't want to see Kobe in anything else. You didn't want to see Tim Duncan in anything else. Yeah, I like it.
Guys, let's transition now to little hockey. Big game tonight for the Detroit Red Wings. 2 games left on the schedule for the Detroit Red Wings. They play thank you very much. Game day, game number 81, 7 o'clock. The Montreal Canadiens and the Detroit Red Wings. It'll be live from Detroit, which could be the final regular season, final game of the year for the Red Wings at Little Caesars Arena. We hope it is not, but Detroit comes in this game absolutely needing at least 1 point, but really they need 1 point to stay alive, but they need 2 points in this
Great
one.
win
Big
against
game downtown.
Great win against Toronto Saturday night.
I'll set you up for it. I tee you up. Hey, look, check this out. I've been talking about it. I said, where the hell is DeBrincat at? I said, where's he at? I said, where's Patrick Kane? Where's these guys that you brought in to make a difference, much like they did before you went on that 7-game skid? Well, DeBrincat gave you 2 goals against the Maple Leafs. Your boy Patrick Kane came through with 2 assists. They played some inspired hockey. They won in overtime. Hey, look, maybe there's a shot for them. Maybe they are finding that form that they had before Dylan Larkin got hurt. I hope they do. I hope they pick up a point. I hope they get in. But this is the Red Wings team that we've been wanting to see. This is the type of game. This is the type of win. This is the skill we knew that they had. And we were pissed every time that it hasn't necessarily gone that way, whether it was the Capitals, whether it was the Penguins, insert team here. But it was a great win. But this is what they do, Ryan. Maz, don't they? They bring you back in, and then they drop you off on the curve.
Hey, it's Washington, Philadelphia, and Pittsburgh with the Red Wings right there. Matter of fact, Washington and the Red Wings are tied. They have the same amount of points.
Washington, Philadelphia, and the Red Wings are tied the same amount of points.
but
Philadelphia is
Philly
playing
has
one
a
more game. Yeah.
Philly has one more game. Pittsburgh is a point back. Washington, I think, is playing the Rangers tonight. Rangers going for the President's Trophy. So we'll see. If the Rangers could do us a favor, knock off Washington, and if the Red Wings could win tonight, then they control their own destiny at Montreal, a team that's playing out the string, but a very proud franchise. Obviously, they're going to give it their best in front of the home crowd. But tonight is the night. You got to win tonight.
Capitals play the Bruins tonight.
Bruins, sorry.
The Capitals play the Bruins. The Penguins play the Predators. And you
Do the Bruins have a shot to catch the Rangers? Maybe
look.
That's what I was thinking of.
Let's
It's the
see.
Rangers and them for the President's
Boston has
Trophy.
100. No. Well, they do, but not really. Boston, yes, they do.
Okay. So they need a win.
Boston needs to win both games.
Right.
And the Rangers only have one game left. This is the
Okay.
last game of the
Oh,
round.
Boston's got something to play for tonight.
112
Washington.
points to 109 points.
Okay.
Maz, what is the excitement level tonight at LCA? The reason why I asked this
yeah.
is because when the Capitals came in and we controlled our destiny, that was a certain decibel level. Now, not so much because we lost. Then you play the Penguins. Decibel level, not so much as the game before. Is this decibel level going to get back up there because of what it represents and it's the potential last home game?
I'll tell you, man, downtown's going to be off the hook tonight.
Oh, it's the Rangers.
Tigers are home for the world champion Rangers, and right across the street,
6-4.
you got a playoff game. You got the Red Wings and the Montreal Canadiens, an original six going at it. I think the Red Wing fans show up in droves tonight, pack that building, and they get the Red Wings over the hump tonight. I think the Wings win tonight in regulation.
Can I ask a stupid question?
Yeah.
And the people in the chat can let me know if it's stupid or not.
They will.
Is there any chance, if the Red Wings don't make the playoffs, that Steve Yzerman fires Derek Lalonde?
No.
I would
That's his guy.
I would have said no until his comments after they lost to the Capitals. His comments after they lost to the Penguins saying, one comment he said, we don't know if we'll ever get here. And then another comment, we gave it our all. Like, they just don't seem like comments befitting of somebody that I want to run my team. It doesn't say, and I'm not going to compare him to Scotty Bowman because you can't. But it doesn't seem fitting of someone that I believe.
Scotty would have talked about basketball.
Exactly.
Yes,
that I believe can lead this franchise, that can lead the plan that we have come to know as the Yzer plan. Like, I think it's on the table, Ryan.
Wow.
I think it's on the table.
I do too.
He's not an exciting guy.
But
He's not an in-your-face, outspoken type of guy. He's just not.
It goes back to wanting to follow a coach. Now, I told you, if you got a coach with Monty Williams' body language, it's tough to follow. It's the same with Lalonde. Like, if I'm listening to these comments, if I'm reading these comments, I know he said, like, what type of coach says this may be the last time that we get a chance to be in the last spot of the playoffs or a wild card spot? What type of coach says, well, we gave it our all. We lost with the chips on the table. This just doesn't seem like a guy that I could get behind. So that's why I think it's on limit.
Steve Yzerman feels like, and again, this may be a topic that we never really, it's never. We hope we're not having this discussion because I think if they make the playoffs, this is off the table, and we obviously want them to make the playoffs. But if they don't, I do think this is something that is up for discussion because Steve Yzerman, to me, feels like, when you're a general manager and you take a quarterback in the first round and you're like, that ain't the guy.
100%.
All that homework I did on that guy, I thought he was the guy, but once you get that guy in the building, you see him around for a season, turns out, that ain't the guy.
Yeah.
What the Giants are going through.
Steve Yzerman feels like
True.
the type of manager that isn't going to double down on that bad quarterback or isn't going to double down on that quarterback that he doesn't believe can take him to the next level. I don't want to say bad. Just he doesn't believe that he's going to be the type of guy that's going to get the Detroit Red Wings to where they need to be as an organization. I feel like a little bit of that is happening right now. And I would not be shocked in the slightest if he made a move at the end of the season with the head coach.
And then also, I think, the reason why people that are successful have success is because they can point out things like this. You see what Dan Campbell did as it relates to removing Anthony Lynn as offensive coordinator or Aubrey Pleasant. Insert move here. I think with Stevie Yzerman, look, this guy's been here 4 years. And I think things can change, Ryan. I think your opinion about somebody over 4 years, when you look at the work, when you look at things that have happened, I think you have every right as a GM, as a president, as an owner, to say, it's time to make a change or we should make a change. This isn't as we started. This isn't the same thing, and we don't necessarily share the same way to get to those goals. Sometimes you got to pull the trigger. The people that can pull that trigger, those are the people that win Stanley Cups. Those are the people that win Larry O'Brien's. Those are the people that win the Lombardi or the World Series trophy. So, Maz, what's the name of the World Series trophy?
The World Series trophy. No,
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure.
I forgot, actually. It might have a name. But
Okay, but at the same time, the people that win those type of titles, they are not afraid to make the necessary moves.
No, and I agree with that. And there's
I think it's the commissioner's trophy.
yeah, and it's not so much either just about. I mean, I understand Dylan Larkin going out was not good for this team, but prior to the win against Toronto in overtime, this team had lost 15 of 20 down the stretch, and that ain't good. You know, I mean, that is an epic collapse. Now, I know they could use a goalie.
Yeah,
I know that would help them if they
the
got a
last 4 or
goalie.
5 years,
But in your biggest game of the year at Pittsburgh, you allow 6 goals, 5 in regulation. You know what I mean?
it's not good enough.
Lost 15 of 20
Yeah.
down the stretch. Like, if you're Steve Yzerman, you got to be like, dude, you got to do something to get me a win here. Because I'm telling you, if you lost 14 of 20 instead of 15 of 20 down the stretch, you're in the playoffs right now. That's how epic of a collapse this final.
And you called it a month ago. Was it a month or was
it was
even
a month
longer
ago.
than that?
It was a month ago.
And you said, what if? And I'm like, that ain't ever going to happen.
Yeah.
No way. And here we are tonight. We need 2 wins to really solidify a playoff shot here.
And you're absolutely right when you look at it from the standpoint. Look, Dylan Larkin is the best player completely all around on the Red Wings team. He's the captain. He's the University of Michigan Go Blue.
Don't forget Lucas Raymond.
He's coming up. Like every time Lucas gets started, he takes a step back. So I got to fully see it out. Lucas Raymond, pause. But with Dylan Larkin, he goes out. Your job as a coach is to work with what you got. A team that already had playoff aspirations at the start of the season and in the middle. You can't go 0-7 in a crunch like that. You go 2-5, I'll take it. You go 3-4. You go 1-6. You can't go 0-7 because you lose Dylan Larkin. Not during the end of the season, not when the playoff push. 0-7 is unacceptable.
Not just 0-7, Braylon. 0-7 in regulation. Like, they didn't even
Get the overtime.
Right, they didn't even get a point.
Yeah.
That's just something you cannot do. Go to the woodwardsports.com chat now. It's hard to trust, but in anyone in this town, if anybody deserves trust in this town, it's Steve Yzerman. Matthew says, on Lalone, isn't that the exact same thing that Dan Campbell said after the NFC title game? Ozzy says same thing in here. Lalone sounded like he took a page out of MCDC after the NFC championship game. But Braylon,
the NFC championship game is much different than a wild card spot in the NHL playoffs.
Yes.
We're not talking. There's no chance that
Yes.
there's a slim chance that you might get back to a conference championship in any sport. There's a slim chance. It's tough to get there. It's tough to get back. So him saying that, that's a well-warranted comment. But this might be the last time that we're in a position getting to the playoffs. Very different conversation.
yeah, this isn't, the Red Wings lost in the Eastern Conference Finals to the New York Rangers in
Exactly.
7 games, and it's really disappointing because you never know if they're ever going to get back
Which
there.
is true.
Because it's so hard. The Stanley Cup playoffs are so hard. It's these 7-game best of 7 prize fights that happen in each round.
Every
no,
year.
this is not that. This is the final spot in the wild card.
Play-in spot.
You know, and yeah, you hope you're never in this spot again because you hope you're at the top of the division or a first top 3 spot in the division where you're guaranteeing yourself a spot in the playoffs. Ari is a glass half empty guy. Bad coaching, says Just a Fan. Tony says, LMAO, Ryan is a massive party pooper at the moment. I'm just trying to call it like I see it. No negative vibes, Ryan. Big game tonight. Cross that bridge if we get there. And again, what I'm trying to get to, guys, is not trying to be negative. I'm just trying to be factual. The reason why we are here tonight is because the Red Wings lost 15 of 20 games before pulling out a rabbit out of their hat in Toronto after being down 1-0. They score 4, up 4-1, and then before the end of the second period, it's 4-4.
Yeah.
This is a collapse, potentially, unlike anything we've ever seen before.
This is a collapse where you keep putting a little bit of, you keep putting a little Band-Aid on it, keeps bleeding, keeps putting a little Band-Aid on it, and then eventually guts you through the Band-Aid. And that's what's going to happen, man.
Well, supposedly the Grand Rapids Griffins have a lot of these.
I was just saying Grand Rapids.
They have the future Red Wings
Is it
down
the
there. They
Van
have a
Andel?
huge.
Is that where they play? The
Yeah,
Van Andel?
they play at the Van Andel Arena.
Okay.
They got That's the future
concert
Red Wings,
was.
and they are a very good team. So if you're looking for the future of this team, it's right there in Grand Rapids. They've drafted well. Now the players just got to get seasoned. So you got to hang in there. If they get in as an 8 seed this year, I'm ecstatic. Maybe they win a couple games. We'll see how it happens. Let's go. Let's have some fun.
At least end on a good note. If we don't get into the playoffs, hell, just end on a good note. Just give me the same energy. Give me 2 wins. Like I think as
Win
a
your
Red
last
Wings
2
fan,
games.
all that we've been through this season, ups and downs, whatever, just finish a 3-game win streak. Hey, it's something.
Hey, as we close out this hour, Braylon Masters, you were all over Scotty Scheffler, and he got the job done yesterday. It was easy for him on the back 9.
Yeah, it was. You know, and you and I talked in text talking about the dominance that he plays. It's very similar to not very similar, but he's maybe the most dominant since Tiger. Look, there's been some guys that have come along since him, whether it was Dustin Johnson's run, whether it's Jason Day's run. Rory's still having a run. He
sucks. I hate Rory
I agree,
McIlroy.
but you look at the records and what he's done. He's a lot of empty calories, as you'll call them. But you look at Jordan Spieth, who had that 5-year run. Man, you look at Scotty Scheffler. It's the first time I've seen actually other players, DeChambeau and those guys, they get nervous around him.
He's 27.
Like, they get nervous
Spieth
around him.
didn't even make the cut.
He's always relaxed. He's the best putter on tour, man. His short game has been pretty good, and he's just flawless. Like, when you play with a guy like that, like, you get nervous, and you see those guys trickling down. Like, it got to a point at one point, they were tied. He had a bogey. It's 6. It's Homa. It's him. It's Ludwig Aberg, the young guy. But then he stayed calm. Then he goes to 8, and he goes to 9, and he goes to 11. Everybody falls back. Like, his dominance these last 2 years, he's 25 now, 25 rounds this year, under 70.
$3.6 million he pockets yesterday. Pretty good 4 days work. Then he gets to go home. He's gonna have his wife's gonna have their first baby. He's got it going.
What did I tell you about the baby? The
baby makes a winner.
jinx.
Bet the baby.
Bet the baby.
Bet the baby.
Bet the baby.
Here he is yesterday after his big win.
Oh no, this is me at the.
I believe that today's plans were already laid out, many years ago, and I could do nothing to mess up those plans. I've been given a gift of this talent, and I use it for God's glory. That's pretty much it. So when I'm out there, I try to compete to the best of my abilities. Like I said, I really want to win. I feel like that's how I was designed. I've been that way since I was a young kid. That's always been a part of me, and I don't think that should be going away anytime soon. And I don't believe there's anything wrong with that either. But at the end of the day, like I said, my identity's secure already. And I get to come out here and compete, have fun, enjoy it. And then at the end of the day, win or lose, my identity's secure.
Kyle.
Yeah, you guys may not be golfers, but at the end of the day, you can recognize that winning spirit. He said, look, God gave me a gift. I'm going to work this gift. He said, but it's nothing wrong with having competition. I'm going to go out there and I want to be the best. And right now, he is the best. There might be a guy that can beat him, though, Maz.
Who's that?
Put that picture of Peter. This guy right here might can beat him, right?
Yeah, baby.
This guy right
There
here.
he
I'm
is.
just saying.
He's getting that bag. He's getting that bag ready for the summer.
You see that? This guy might can take him out. Appreciate that. You see the bag, Ryan?
Oh, Michigan bag. I see
My
it.
dad got me that. It's a cool bag,
Sick.
man.
Has that got a number 1 on it?
Of course it does.
Attaboy.
Of course
He
it
wants
does.
to know if you were at J-Wars on
No. Farmington Hills golf club and driving range. I usually go to Carl's.
Oh, okay.
I'm a Carl's Golf Land guy. Where do you go?
I go to J-Wars. It just looked like J-Wars. That's all I'm saying.
You're
That's
east side though, right?
Yeah, it's on the east side.
Oh,
It just
yeah.
looked like J-Wars. That's why I thought you were there.
I got a good.
This guy's won $58 million, over $58 million.
Scotty
He's 27.
Scheffler, he might be. This is what Braylon and I were texting about. He might be the most dominating player since Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
Not
Quietly.
Tiger Woods.
Quietly.
Not saying he's Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
Not saying he's in the same category as Tiger Woods. But golf has always been looking to the next.
Yeah.
Who will be the next? Rory came and went. Spieth came and went.
Justin Day,
Sergio
Dustin
came
Long,
and went. Bubba
Dustin
Watson.
Johnson.
Lefty.
All of them.
Yeah.
All of them. And there has never been that guy. They go up and then they come down. They go up and then they come down. This guy is different.
You know what he does that it makes him dominant? This is what he does. I know all you guys out there like, stop talking about golf. No. Masters is going to have its moment. The big thing is you see the guys that win a lot, like the Bryson DeChambeau's earlier, they win a lot, but then they disappear. Dustin will win some, but then he disappears. He'll finish 30th. Wayne Gretzky's wife. Yeah. He'll finish 30th. He won't make the cut. Jordan Spieth did the same thing. Or you have the golfers that are very consistent. They won't win it, Ryan. Will Zalatoris. You got Xander Schauffele. You got guys like that, Cameron Smith. they'll stay 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, maybe 5 on occasion. If he's not winning, he's in second. But he's usually always winning. That's the consistency. Not only is he winning jackets, which is his second in 3 years, not only is he winning majors, he's winning other tournaments, but when he's not winning those tournaments, he's still finishing top 4, finishing top 3. These guys, if they don't win it, they don't place. If they get high, they won't win. So he's very consistent at placing high and winning.
Now, as a non-golf fan, but as a Tiger lover,
Yeah.
I'm not tuning him on to watch him. I'm just not.
No.
I'm not. He's not making me put the TV on.
Right. He's not doing anything you haven't seen before.
Right.
That's why.
I just don't care.
Right.
Right.
He don't do it for me.
Right.
Nice
I get
guy.
it.
I'm happy for him.
I get it.
He don't do it for me.
But that's why I think Ryan's saying two different things. There's one, people that draw you in on an exciting player. Like Ryan's not saying this guy's exciting because he's not. He plays straight down the middle golf. He's smooth. Like it's
No
very
personality.
consistent. No person. He's right down the line, but he's dominant. That's what Ryan's more so saying. When he dominates the tour, not in the way in which the crowd, the drives, the personality, what you're looking at, but he dominates it with consistency. Which
You know what? I'll tune back in.
He's like Jokic. You don't like watching Jokic, do you?
No, I'll
He
tune back in.
dominates with.
Great
I'll tune back in when Charlie Woods is playing.
Shoot, hey, at this
There
rate,
you go.
but you got about 5 years.
Yep. That's
But
when
again,
I'll
that's
tune back
why.
in.
But that's why, and this will be the last word on this, because he's not doing anything you haven't seen before. That's why Caitlin Clark.
Oh, great.
She's doing
call,
something we haven't seen before.
She was on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, that was great.
She's
Great. WNBA draft tonight.
oh, good call. And
Yep.
she may bring some eyes to not the league. She may bring some eyes to the Indiana Fever.
36 of their 40 games are on national television.
Yeah.
And then as the game evolves, you get better players. You start to see a Caitlin versus a Juju. Maybe the game evolves, but it's not going to be more watching the whole sport.
No.
But they will be tuned in to those 36 games.
Guys, we'll take a break. Lions made some moves today, re-signing a couple of their own players. Also, interesting article in the Detroit Free Press over the weekend. Are Brad Holmes and Jared Goff creating a grievance culture within the Detroit Lions? We'll talk about that next. We'll also go around the NFL, but first a message from Planet Fitness.
That's right. Well, your fitness is essential. And still, as they once started, they still are only $10 a month. And it is home of the squeaky clean gym. Look, you want to go to the gym, you want it to be clean, you want to be able to trust the locker rooms, you want to be able to get a good shower after the workout. But you got to go to Planet Fitness. And also the 30-minute total body workout right in the middle of Planet Fitness. They got it all lined up for you. All you got to do is do the exercise. They got the timer in the corner. Planet Fitness is the place to be, and it's no judgment. Home of the judgment-free zone. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
As well, wear the latest in Detroit sports gear. That's right. Head to shop.woodwardsports.com. Check out some of these new tees we got going on over here, boys and girls. And also today is Monday, and so that is merch giveaway Monday on shop.woodwardsports.com. Also, you got to make sure that you follow, like, and share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Again, go to shop.woodwardsports.com today and load up on all the hoodies, the tees, and the hats that are guaranteed to turn heads. We shall return.
Thank you to the Detroit Lions and Sheila Hamp for the best season in Lions history. Now it's time to let Brad Holmes cook. Woodward Sports.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
And with the first pick in the 2024 Media Draft, Detroit selects Woodward Sports. Thank you for making us the #1 digital network in Detroit.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. there's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
The BGCSM 3C Sports Conference is coming during NFL Draft Week, starting on April 24th. Special guests will include Jerome Bettis, Barry Sanders, Eddie George, Aleem McNeil, Calvin Johnson Jr., Sean H. Wilson, Cynthia Freeland, Adam Scheffner, and more. This event is open to athletes, coaches, and parents, but space is limited. So go to our website and purchase your tickets today at www.bgcsm.org.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts Woodward Sports.
After an accident, people need to hire a lawyer more than any other time. So make Feiger Law your first call. 1-800-A-WINNER. That's 1-800-A-WINNER. Their team of trial lawyers will get you the money you deserve. It's Feiger Law. All we do is win, Bray.
You know what? Before I start this read, I want to say I'm not only representing Soroki's because they're a sponsor. Ryan and Ermanni, Tom Mazaway, Pete, and Mike. I went to Soroki's yesterday before going to Grand Rapids. Chicken is crispy. It is amazing. And then the girls had some of that Nashville hot. Gotta warn you guys. That chicken sandwich, that pizza, those chicken tenders, they are hot. The girls were coughing in the back seat, but they loved it. My girl tried a piece, oh boy. She said it is the real McCoy. So you gotta give it a shot, man. The food is fresh, the food is good. The service was even really good too. So try that Nashville hot, but if you don't want that, the regular chicken is still crispy. Woodward Sports and crispy. That's a good time.
That's where I get my fountain sodas from.
Oh,
good sodas as well, yeah.
On my way in.
So good. Love that. Absolutely. Guys, Lions.
Soda.
Welcome. Hour number 2 of the program. Lions re-signed a couple of their own this morning. Lions re-signed Craig Reynolds, James Houston, and Kayode.
It's Yodi.
Awosika.
Yodi. They just call him Yodi.
Hey, he played pretty well for them too. Okay, decent. There's some talent there. I don't want to say played great, but he is a very capable 6th offensive lineman. He's very capable in there for that interior. If you're going to, now not going to play center, but he could play one of the guard positions. Yeah. If, Frank goes down, Graham has to move to the center. Yoda can move in there admirably and play, but that's a player that's getting better. James Houston, I know, is a player that everybody's excited about. See what he can do. Full year of health, another year older and wiser, and we'll see what he can do. Craig Reynolds is obviously a player that all of us really
Come on, Craig.
Maz, I freaking love you. You know what these moves were. These are Brad Holmes moves. These are Detroit Lions moves. What you want to do with Yodi, you got a guy that's young, guy that you think can work some things out at the position that you guys have really become a staple, and that's offensive line. So they want to give him a chance. Obviously, James Houston, we saw what he did that first year, so we're excited about that. They want to take care of him because, remember, he was undrafted. So not necessarily a contract at all. So this gives him some money, puts some money in his pocket, and kind of eases him into just, let me thinking about football, let me think about coming off that edge. And then Craig Reynolds is a guy you re-sign. He's a locker room guy. He's a team guy. This is how you do it when you play for the Detroit Lions. Watch Craig Reynolds. These are the things we do. This is what we embody. I remember playing for the Seahawks. We had a linebacker who only played special teams, but Ben Good, I want to say was his name. Ben Good was that guy. Locker room guy. Like, he was a rah-rah guy, but at the same time, this is who you follow. This is how Seattle Seahawks conduct the business. So, got to have those guys. So, good signing by the Lions. And like you said, excited to see what James Houston can bring to this year, because now that you stir up that middle a little bit, it's going to be really interesting to see what the season holds for him.
I wanted to get to this, guys. I saw it over the weekend. It was written by Carlos Benares in the Detroit Free Press.
Saw that.
And it did intrigue me a little bit. Jared Goff, Brad Holmes appear to be creating a grievance culture within the Detroit Lions. You'll remember a couple of weeks ago, a couple of months ago maybe even, when Brad Holmes came out at the end of the season and really kind of fired back at some of the reporters. It was like Carlos was one of them. And Carlos tends to write things that are a little that's slew negative a little bit.
He took over for the great Drew Sharp. Of course he had to do that.
And look, it's fine. It doesn't bother me at all. But Brad Holmes took some shots at the Detroit media. And then you have Jared Goff come in and say that the Detroit media, on that podcast a week ago or a week and a half ago, said that the Detroit media relishes in negativity. That was a big story for a couple of days. And after reading this article, it kind of makes me think everybody has their own reality.
Yeah.
Everybody looks at life through their own lens.
Yeah, it's good. There.
And look, I would prefer, and who cares what I prefer? I would prefer.
You do.
Yeah, huh?
You do.
Yeah,
you care about what you. We all care about ourselves.
I would prefer Brad Holmes and Jared Goff just not worry about one-offs that are written about him or one-offs that are said about him. That's fine. On the other hand, I'm like, well, I just watched that Michael Jordan Last Dance, who basically any little thing that was written or said about him, he used as fuel for his competitive fire. So, that part I get too. Yeah. But the way I see it through my own lens, I cannot remember a time that any Detroit sports team within a 12-month period was talked about as positively as the 2023-2024 Detroit Lions. No other team in the last 40 years in Detroit has been and gotten so much positivity collectively. Are there one-offs? Sure. Yeah. Are there questions? Sure. But, man, we're sitting up here, and I don't think it's just us. Most people don't even do draft stories here anymore because it's like, oh, whoever Brad Holmes takes, it's going to be great.
Yeah.
It's going to be great. We trust him. If he takes a wide receiver, okay. He must. That's never happened in our lives. It's like Vern Lundquist. In your life.
Yeah.
No. So they see it how they see it. I see it how I see it. I don't think it's even remotely close to the actual truth, their version of it, but it's fine. It doesn't rub me the wrong way. Again, I would prefer they just not do that stuff, but it's fine. It doesn't bug me.
I love the Vern Lundquist pull. Yeah. That was spot on. I like that. You know what? Last week I said the same thing. I said, look, man, at the end of the day, I hope they got it off their chest so that they can be done talking with it. Brad Holmes, we get it. People said some things. People talked about your draft. It worked out for you. We're happy. Jared Goff, people said some things about you. Maybe you didn't like what they said about your boy, Josh Reynolds. Please tell him to catch the ball. Those comments won't be made. But at the end of the day, I wanted them, hey, they got it off their chest. The more you look about it, man, if you look at the team, and you brought this up once, Ryan, they're a team of people that didn't believe in them, whether it was Jared Goff leaving L.A., whether it was David Montgomery, just the Bears not believing in him, whether it was people not believing in Dan Campbell. This locker room came together in 2021, and they listened to the same old Lions. Then they listened to the Quinn Trisha era ruined it. Then who's this guy, Dan Campbell? And then they got to the season. They were 0-10. Then they got to 3-13-1. People talked a lot of stuff that next offseason. Then the next season, they didn't start off too good. Fast forward, they've listened to a lot of negativity, and I think that negativity, whether it's Amon-Ra St. Brown, why are they drafting this guy? Who is this guy? What is he going to be? I think that's how they operate. I think they're much like Michigan State. How long did Mark D'Antonio, how many times did he use the underdog card? When they became a really good ball club, or even when they were winning Rose Bowls. Michigan wasn't even winning Rose Bowls when we were going. They were winning Rose Bowls, still playing the underdog card. It worked for them until it didn't. But with the Lions, I think it's just so many guys on that team where they've heard so much negativity from wherever they were before, from 2021 till now, where this is who they are. This is what they feed into. Maybe just not let us know as much that you're feeding into it. Maybe just tuck it. Maybe use it. But don't let us know you're listening to it.
Hey, pride comes before the fall. Remember that.
Hey, by the way, Mark D'Antonio, another perfect example of when you're not winning what the expectation is when you come into the building.
Yep.
This is how you carry yourself if you're a Michigan State Spartan player.
Yep.
This is what you do. This is how you act. This is how hard you practice. even when you're not winning games. It's an expectation. If you're wondering why I refer to that, go back to the start of the show when I'm talking about Monty Williams.
Absolutely.
It's true.
Now, just bringing this up, Dan Campbell calling out the media sometimes. Brad Holmes, when he picked on the media after the season was over and said, hey, you guys told me, running back, oh, this, that, hey, it worked, right? And now Jared Goff saying, hey, these guys relish in the what's the word I'm looking for again?
Negativity.
In the negativity.
Yeah, true.
But this is Jared Goff coming over because he had something to play for. He said it. They sent me over there to die. That's what Sean McVay did. They sent me over to that place to die. And we all said that.
In the middle of the night.
Yep. When he got traded here, we're like, what a fall. This guy was the overall number 1 pick. We trade our overall number 1 pick to get him. We get all those draft picks. So there's no expectation about this guy. I guess we just got to pay out his contract. But he took that, and it burned a fire in him.
And then you also got to look back before I cut you off. Look what happened just that first year.
Yeah.
We get Jared Goff, go 3-13-1. Matt Stafford wins the Super Bowl.
Yes.
So
to
now even
worse.
more negativity.
Absolutely. And he survived all of that to where he is now, winning 2 home playoff games here for Detroit for the first time in the Super Bowl era. And they get to the final. They get to the NFC East. They get to the NFC Championship game. They fall a little short. But this is what gets these guys. This is what makes them burn. So I ask you two right now, would you rather have it, Brad Holmes and Jared Goff throwing some shade at us, or would you rather have them just keep it quiet?
Well, I feel like Dan Campbell, is the, hey, one love kind of thing. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Which is crazy.
Like, Dan Campbell doesn't do that.
No. But he does defend himself on going on 4th down and stuff like that.
Defending yourself and going after people are two different things. Just a couple from the chat here. Dr. Detroit says Ermanni is sensitive for sure. GW the Kid says, Ermanni, you're a positive person, and even at some point you even get bothered by all the clown stuff. Yeah, I do, but I'm not in charge of an NFL organization.
It's true.
I'm not the quarterback of an NFL franchise that won 2 playoff games for the first time in 30 years. First time in the history of their organization won 2 playoff games in one season in the Super Bowl era, that it's about to make $50 million a year. Yeah, I'm sensitive.
Right.
I got feelings.
So do you think there is
feelings.
Do you think there's a grievance culture building on this team? I haven't heard any players besides Goff and besides Brad Holmes say anything.
No, let me tell you something. No, but just talking about this one particular article, I found it interesting. That's all.
Okay.
I found it interesting. It wasn't anything that, you blow up or make into something that it's not, but it did make me think. How about that? I read the article. It made me think.
Let's face it. When you're picking 29th in the draft, even though the draft is right here, there's not a lot to talk about because 28 players are going before you even pick. So we don't know what the hell's going to happen. You have no idea if Cooper DeJean is going to go 15th or he's going to go after you pick. Same thing for Kool-Aid McKinstry. You have no idea what's going to happen. So Carlos writes this column, and he got you to think. Me, I looked at it and I'm like,
trash.
There's nothing to read about. Yeah, I got no feeling about it.
Right. Me, I'm like, April 15th. What are we going to talk about today? But you're looking for stuff to consider.
I get it.
I'm always looking. I always try to see both sides of something.
Yeah.
And then I'll make my opinion. Right. I try to look at it from the point of view of them. I try to look at it at a point of view from something else. And I fall short of being able to do that, but I'll eventually get to my own conclusion, but I will try. And again, I fall short in many cases, Bray.
Yeah.
But I'll try to look at both sides and then form an opinion that way.
Look, I understand it. Like, I'm sitting up here like I didn't play, for a team where the Jets, man, you can talk about the Jets and the disrespect that they received for years. And even when I got there, the first year we go to the playoffs, we backed into the playoffs. Like, we won the last game of the season, got into the playoffs. But the whole next off season, the Jets, they're not going to get back. It doesn't matter about what they do. They're just the same old type of team that's going to fall. And I saw that. A lot of negativity, a lot of negative comments from the New York Times and Post, et cetera, et cetera. But we just liked it. We relished in it. We didn't say anything. We just knew what we were about. We got back to the AFC Championship, lost again, but we did get back. But we didn't need to say anything. I think that's more along the line where I'm at. It's like, all right, it's cool. You've heard a lot of spit. You know, people spit a lot of spew after you, but just listen to it. Just keep not letting us know. I think these podcasts let you know too much. They give you the insides because, like we always say, you get comfortable. You sit up there. You say how you feel. Save that, man. The fans don't need to know because then you have these conversations, whether right or wrong or whether just having fun, where we're talking about how you feel about blah, blah, blah. Tuck some things under the vest.
Can you imagine if Brad Holmes was the GM of the Giants or Jets? You want negativity, guys. Go live in the Big Apple. Go live in the metro New York, New Jersey area. There's double the teams. There's 10 times the reporters and newspapers. And there's 1,000 times more negativity coming out of that city than here. This is like when people ask me, Maz, what do you like better? You like Jersey or do you like living in Michigan? Because I got 31 years in both states. Do I love New Jersey? I grew up there. My heart's there. Of course, my family's there, except for my wife and children here. I love New Jersey. I love pizza, love all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you do.
We know you love pie.
I love going to racetracks. We don't have racetracks here anymore. I had to go to Kentucky.
Go to a racetrack. You had to go to Kentucky.
But I love Michigan. You know why?
Yeah.
Because it's relaxed. People think there's traffic jams here.
Nah.
I laugh at the traffic jams in Michigan. Even up on 96, even up on 75 past Great Lakes Crossing. That's nothing compared to everyday living in the New York, New Jersey metropolitan
Atlanta
area. You just
LA,
sit
Chicago.
in traffic. You might as well, instead of working 8 hours a day, you're working 10, 11 hours a day with your trip.
Incredible,
Even
man.
if you live close to the city. And I lived literally 15 minutes from New York City, but it never took 15 minutes to get there.
And, man, you bring up a great point, man. Obviously, I grew up here, grew up in Michigan, grew up in Detroit, then went and played in Cleveland. Cleveland's a similar city. Traffic is nothing.
Nothing.
It's not till I played for the 49ers. I was like, whoa,
California.
this is traffic. Or Atlanta or
Wow.
L.A. or even Seattle's traffic was bad. It was horrible. Like, you get some of these Chicago, lived out in Chicago. You get to these major cities and you're like, you have a newfound appreciation.
Hell
I
yeah.
sit on 275 for 40 minutes and just relax. Like, listen to a couple songs, make some phone calls because it's nothing. You get in these major cities, you're pissed by the time you get home. That's why people get home and that's why the divorces happen.
I can get home from Ford Field in Comerica and Little Caesars in 12 minutes.
Yeah.
12 minutes. I can just leave anytime. I'll stay the whole game.
How long does it take you to get to Jersey from Giant Stadium in Jersey?
It's literally 15 minutes from my door.
To
And
MetLife.
if the Giants are playing, you need 2 hours.
Really?
Yes. You need 2 hours.
Wow.
You want to go to Yankee Stadium? You need at least 2 hours to get over the
Wow.
GW Bridge and get it to the Bronx.
Get out of here.
No, you just sit, man.
That's why
And
you
you
gotta
can't take the train anymore. You can't
Yeah.
take the subway.
The train's great.
You get killed now.
The ferry's great. No, I like the subway. Always
can't
like the
take the
subway.
subway anymore.
The train from Secaucus to New York now is easy. Half train. It's all good.
Can't take the subway anymore.
It's all
It's
good.
can't
Too many
take
nut
it.
jobs.
That's fine.
Too many nut jobs.
New York's always been full of nut jobs.
Yes.
Well, now they stab you or shoot
They've
you.
been stabbing since the 80s. Oh, okay, yeah, maybe a little different with the
I'm just saying, we got it good here. That's what I'm trying to say. We got it good here.
Oh, man. Guys, we got to get a break. When we come back, we'll go around the NFL with Tom Mazaway. But first, a message from Premier Pet.
Woof! All right,
Supply.
Premier Pet Supply,
Not the wolf.
hands down, Michigan's best pet store, family-owned and operated for over 30 years. 13 Metro Detroit locations, over 60 brands of food, the lowest prices available, curbside delivery if you need it, and nutritionists on call if you have any questions about your pet, their needs. Give them a try right now. Do not settle for less. Give your pet the best. It's PremierPetSupply.com.
That's right, and I have some good news and some bad news. The bad news is insurance rates are going up across the board in Michigan, but the good news is that Swiss Insurance is here to help. Right now, more than ever, it's critical for you to have your insurance reviewed, and Swiss will make sure that your carrier does not slip in extra fees or raise deductibles. Call Market Swiss Insurance today or visit SwissINS.com and tell them that Woodward Sports sent you. We'll be right back.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
And with the first pick in the 2024 Media Draft, Detroit selects Woodward Sports. Thank you for making us the #1 digital network in Detroit.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Hey guys, looking for a car or a truck? Look no further than Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC. All 4 GM brands under the Les Stanford umbrella. The Buick GMC store located in Ferndale on Woodward Avenue just south of 9 Mile. Chevy or Cadillac located in Dearborn on Michigan Avenue, where they have been for over 55 years. The deals you want, the vehicles you need. LesStanford.com, LesStanford.com. Together, let's drive. And you can drive on over to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Awesome is when a guy can be a guy and get an amazing haircut. That's Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Stop in, sit back, relax. Let one of Lady Jane's talented stylists make you look and feel great. You can walk in anytime, 7 days a week. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Wicked awesome indeed. Hey, Maz, before you go around the NFL,
Yes, sir.
Let me ask this question, and we'll get into the University of Michigan, whose spring game is Saturday. We'll cover it probably Wednesday, Thursday. We'll probably get a Michigan Insider on here, get you guys involved in what Michigan is going to potentially be this year. But here's a question. Michigan won the national championship this past January. Go Blue. When you see Georgia have their their spring games after national championship, or Alabama after their national championships, or Ohio State, which is a while ago, or Clemson, they usually have 80, 90,000 people out there.
Ohio State had it this weekend.
100%. They had 95,000. As Michigan, does Michigan have 100,000? Do they have 90,000, Ryan? Or is it going to be the typical Michigan we see, where even though we're national champs, it's going to be about 35,000 people out there?
80,000 fans at Ohio Stadium this weekend for the spring game.
That's a lot of people just to see a practice.
It is, but
it's Ohio.
It is. And, there's just too many other things going on in our area. I think I'm just looking at it right now. I think the Tigers are home. Are the Tigers home? Oh. Tigers are on the road, actually. So the Tigers are on the road.
Concerts.
Yeah, I mean,
that's early.
I'd say 50,000.
50?
50,000. There's just, when you talk about Athens, Georgia, or Columbus, that's all they have.
That's religion.
That is all they have.
Right.
Lincoln, Nebraska.
Religion.
Oklahoma.
Religion.
That's all they have, man.
Everywhere you name it, it's also no pro sports.
Now, in Georgia, they have the Atlanta teams, but again,
Nebraska and Oklahoma, they don't have
anything.
Columbus has the Blue Jackets.
Columbus has the Blue Jackets. Ain't
anybody watching.
So I would say you're gonna have about 50,000.
Where you going, man?
I'm gonna go. You're gonna be surprised. I'm gonna go with 80,000.
You going 80?
I do, especially if the weather cooperates.
Okay, low man buys lunch.
Okay.
On Monday.
Okay.
And you in on
Are you
this
saying?
one?
Are you saying?
The guy closest,
without going over?
No, I'm saying like the lowest, like
the one that's furthest away.
Furthest away.
No matter if you go over or under, right?
No, you can go over. No big deal.
Okay, I'm going to say 50,000.
Okay.
You're going 50. Pete, jump in this one.
We're not going to make you buy lunch, though.
Well, no, that doesn't matter to me. I'm going to go with, 40,000.
Okay. Mike, give us a number.
Now, Mike, keep in mind, over 100,000 people fit in the stadium.
I'm going to say 35, 40.
That's a good guess, 35,000. I'm going to go 62. Where'd you go, 60, man?
I said 80.
Okay, 60.
I really jumped the gun.
And Ryan, you said 50?
Yeah.
Can I come down a little?
62.
75.
62,000, I think is the number.
Yeah, I'm going
This
to go
is
with
great.
75.
I need the Price is Right
62.
music.
Furthest man away buys lunch.
Deal. Let's see what the chat thinks, too.
We'll be taking care of the lunches regardless.
When's the spring game?
Saturday, actually.
Saturday. Game's on Fox at noon as
Okay.
well.
And MSU's getting ready for theirs as well.
Are they?
Yeah. You didn't know that?
Didn't hear anything about it. Do they have a coach?
Oh, yeah.
They
It's
do.
John L. Smith,
Jonathan
right?
Smith.
Let's not start this again.
Jonathan
Let's not
Smith.
start this again.
My daughter's so excited
They
for
were
Michigan
pissed.
State football season.
They should. They should be excited. They got that Chile guy.
Yeah.
What's his name? Chile's.
I don't know.
Chili's baby back ribs.
Chili's baby back.
Isn't that his name?
Barbecue sauce.
They got Oregon State's guy. That's all I know.
Yeah. Came from Oregon State.
That's it.
Something like that.
That commercial was amazing because that commercial made you want to go to Chili's.
What?
I
can
want to go right now.
Wait,
Barbecue
speaking of
sauce.
which, what has Chili's done that TGI Fridays didn't do?
I think
I see
it's
Chili's everywhere. I was in Florida. You got Chili's all over the place.
Tex-Mex.
Me too. In Kentucky, Chili's are everywhere.
How does Chili's survive?
I think it's Tex-Mex.
What do you mean by Tex-Mex?
It's like Mexican, but it's like it's
No,
like
they got TV. They put out, hey, come here, get a 3-course meal plus
Right.
dessert for $10. That's what I remember.
It survives, man.
It
I'm
does.
just saying the
Thrive.
type of food. Like
Chili's was packed in Florida.
It's a fun place, I guess.
you can't tell me the most consumed ethnic food here in the United States of America isn't Mexican and Asian.
I mean, I looked at the parking lot. This car packed.
Because the chips are still good, the sauce is still good.
Couldn't believe
The
it,
skillet
man.
is still good.
And all I kept thinking about is TGI Fridays. How does Chili's make it, and TGI Fridays does not?
there-
Somebody
are there
cuts the
TJs
corners with
anymore?
that sauce. That sauce.
I
just
haven't
get me
seen
sick.
a TGI
No more
Fridays in a
TGI
minute.
Fridays? They're gone?
If Jack Daniels pulled out, that would explain why TJ Fridays
Right.
didn't make it. 'Cause that was their big sauce, the Jack Daniels.
Guys,
sauce.
let me get another break in real quick, and then we'll go around the NFL next. But first, a
Guardian.
message from Guardian Alarm.
That's right, everybody. What happens when you see that black and yellow sign out in front of your house that tells the bad guys?
Stay out.
That's right. It's a new year. Let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real experts, 24/7 professional monitoring, and technology backed by people. And that technology has been proven to work, and those people have been proven to care. Call 1-800.
Stay out.
That's 1-800.
Stay out.
Call them today. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you. We'll be right back.
Congratulations to the real coach of the year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
All right, check this out. Pay attention. When it comes to chicken sandwich, I got a sleeper for you. And the sleeper is the new Chicken Shack sandwich from Shake Shack. And right now, hey, Ryan Ermanni, I'm trying to tell you, we had it in the show. Trying to tell you right now, you can go to Shake Shack and use code word Woodward. And if you purchase $10 worth of food, you will get a free Chicken Shack sandwich. It's amazing. If you're looking at the screen to see what it is, Chicken Shack is an amazing sandwich. And they're all over metropolitan Michigan. We will actually be at the one downtown in June in Campus Marshall. So come check it out. But use that promo word. It is Woodward. And you get a free Chicken Shack sandwich with purchase $10.
And want to tell you about the Boys and Girls Clubs of Southeastern Michigan and the Jerome Bettis Bus Stops Here Foundation. Proud to present the 3C Sports Conference to educate, inform, and inspire players, parents, and coaches in our local communities, featuring impactful speakers like Jerome Bettis himself, Eddie George, and Adam Schefter. April 24th through the 26th. For more information and tickets, you can scan that QR code right now on your screen and sign up today.
All right, Bus.
Go Bus. The wheels on the bus.
And go Maz. It
right.
is time now to go around the NFL.
Here's a question for you guys. How many teams are in the NFL?
32.
How many teams are in the NFL for Deion Sanders? 6.
I saw
He said
this.
Travis Hunter and his son, Shakur Sanders, will only be able to go to these 6 teams, right? Why don't you mention those
The
6
Philadelphia Eagles, San Francisco 49ers, Dallas Cowboys, Washington Commanders, Baltimore Ravens, and Atlanta Falcons. Mind you, both he did not say Did he say Chargers on there?
No, he did not.
Oh.
A couple of those teams on there, he played for 3 of them.
Right, Cowboys, 49ers, and Commanders, right?
Falcons.
And Ravens.
Got drafted by the Falcons.
Played for the Ravens, too, didn't he?
Deion played for the
End
Ravens?
of the year.
That's how I
At the
played
end,
against him in 2000.
I would have been tricked on that one.
Yeah, I got drafted.
I forgot about that.
Played for
Played for every team up there.
So he's saying his son and Travis Hunter, who's the Mr. Everything, when they come out for school next year, when they come out for the pros, only 6 teams are allowed to pick.
Which is really incredible because didn't he talk about how he doesn't want his son to go to a cold weather city? Well, you've got Philadelphia, Washington, and Baltimore, 3 of the 6 that play in the element.
But once again, it's not about what you know, it's who you know. And Deion talked all that stuff. But at the end of the day, what all those teams have in common, it's the owners, it's the teams and the franchises that he's played for. Look, everybody wants that comfortability. If you can get some of that comfortability, it's good. But this is not going to happen. It just sounds good. It keeps Deion in the news. Keeps his name in the news. It keeps you thinking about him. And it keeps future recruits thinking about the Colorado Buffalo.
So if you're the New York Giants and you want Travis Hunter, are you picking him?
Yes.
But Deion said he's not coming.
Deion ain't his father. Deion is not his father. Deion is his head coach. Travis Hunter, come get this money. We like what you can do. We won't make you play both sides.
Okay.
We're going to make you a wide receiver.
Oh.
He's too skinny to play DB.
All right.
Nah.
Let's move on to Ryan's guy, J.J. McCarthy. It's coming close, man. 10 days away from the draft. Well, J.J. McCarthy today is hanging out with the New England Patriots. Ryan, your worst nightmare.
This is the one spot I really hope he doesn't go because I think whoever gets selected by the New England Patriots, if it's a quarterback, mind you, is just going to be set up to fail. I think this is the worst possible. I think this is the worst team in the NFL. I think this is the worst situation in the NFL. Offensively, they have 0 talent. They just need so much. I would prefer, if I was a Patriots fan, to trade back, acquire more picks, and you can get good quickly like that. That seemingly is not the direction they're going to go. They are going to select a quarterback. I would not do that if I was them, but I'm just a guy talking sports behind a microphone, not running an NFL franchise. It just doesn't make any sense to me that they get their quarterback.
I'm not ignoring you, and I'm not being rude. I'm over here trying to look at the Patriots coaching staff to see No, I know he's the head coach, but who's even the offensive coordinator for this team right now? Who quarterbacks coach? T.C. McCartney. Let's check him out real quick. T.C. McCartney, where's his experience at? He was at Louisiana State. He was tight ends coach for Browns assistant 2023, offensive assistant last 2 seasons in Cleveland. Well, we know who was in Cleveland. It was Kevin Stefanski, who's a pretty good coach, offensively, good offensive mind. 'Cause I'm trying to see, is there a path that if he's drafted to the Patriots, he can have some type of success?
Who is the OC
offensive
over there?
coordinator?
Alex
Van Pelt.
Alex Van Pelt,
FC.
former quarterback.
Yeah.
Not very good, though.
Yeah, he was. I was in the league with him, or no, he's older than me.
Well, no. So I'm hoping JJ,
he's
like
in
I
Cleveland
said.
too. They must have brought over the Cleveland staff. A lot of people from Cleveland, because he's another Cleveland guy that was there last couple of years. So they brought over the Brown. You got to trust the guys under. We can always talk about the successful geniuses in terms of offensive or offensive minded. Kevin Stefanski is one of those guys, or Kyle Stefanski. Maybe there is something. Maybe there is something to this team, and maybe there is something new. But look, Robert Kraft is a guy that knows how to win, Ryan. I guess that's the silver lining if JJ goes to the New England
He
Patriots.
knows how to win with Tom
And I'll
Brady.
tell you, Robert Kraft is doing anything he can trying to recreate the Tom Brady situation.
This kid might be it.
I mean, it's like the Mars. If you look at it, and Ryan, you brought up a great point. He's trying to recreate the Tom magic. He got a guy, Michigan, not highly touted. We're going to take our chance. We're going to stake our claim. It's very similar to I just lost it. Dang, it was from this year. It was your boy, the Mara family. What did they do? They went out and got Daniel Jones, who looks like a clone for them to Eli Manning.
Yeah,
looks the same, acts the same, quiet, he has the same goofy disposition about himself, same size essentially, same type of quarterback almost. Obviously, except Daniel Jones can run. That's what the Mara family did. They wanted him because of what he fit. Could be the same situation for Robert Kraft. He could want JJ because of Tom Brady.
By the way, you mentioned Daniel Jones, and I don't have the video of it right now, but I saw it earlier. He's going viral right now because he's at a press conference, and his eyes are like that big. He looks like a serial murderer. It is instant. Let me see if I can get this video.
Is it
for
No
you.
Sleep or is it No Sleep from Brooklyn?
So what's your take on that?
He's just a weirdo.
Yeah,
you heard it.
He's just a weirdo. That's what.
Can I mention JJ back again?
Yeah.
Remember last week we mentioned 13 players invited here in Detroit for the, and we're like, why didn't he get invited? He did. Did you know JJ was invited to come?
Yeah.
He did not answer.
That's what I saw.
The invite, so it gets revoked after a certain amount of time.
That's what I saw.
So JJ McCarthy was invited. Braylon, you said maybe he's just going to go Chrysler Center or hang out at the big house or something, or Schembechler Hall and hang out, maybe. But why not answer at least?
Sometimes these things get away from you. I mean, the draft process is a busy one. The draft process is a busy one, but obviously they can reach out to his agent. They know
that's why you have an agent.
He doesn't want it. If you don't want to go, you don't want
So
to go.
why not answer and say no thanks?
It slipped his mind.
Right, just
He
let it
got
go.
over it. Like I wish I would have done it where I was at Schembechler or was at the team and family, had more people there and it was more experience. But at the same time, I did like being there as well. So I don't know if I would have done it any different. But JJ, like I said, he's gonna be here. He's gonna relax. He doesn't buy into that life. He doesn't buy into those things. He's not pressed about walking the stage or being in the scene or being seen.
Did you find out about?
Daniel Jones?
Yeah.
I mean, there's no reason.
Okay.
I mean, let me see if I can send it to the
That's
chat.
okay. All right, we'll come back to that.
There's no reason why he's like that. He's just a weirdo.
Okay, well, send it to Pete.
Yeah.
I'll keep going.
Right.
Devontae Smith, former Heisman Trophy
100%.
winner, number one pick by the Eagles a few years ago. He got a new deal. 3 years, $75 million extension for Devontae Smith.
The Eagles have paid another big-time wide receiver, a rising player, the two-time. This time wide receiver Devontae Smith, he's paid 3 years, $75 million contract extension. This includes $51 million guaranteed. Sources say, man, this is a smart move. At the end of the day, this has become the going rate for wide receiver. A secondary wide receiver. It's $25 million. You've locked up a guy that's showing you he can play at this level, showing you he deserved to win a Heisman Trophy, and you already locked up your other receiver, A.J. Brown. You need weapons to win in this game. If you don't pay him now, Devontae Smith in next year or the year after that, ticket goes up. The ticket comes due, or you lose him to another team.
So what's Saint going to get?
Ain't tomorrow's price.
What's St. Brown getting then?
26, 28
We've been waiting
million.
and waiting and waiting.
28. 28.2, 28.5.
Whatever he gets paid, I'm fine with.
If you're giving
Sorry for the
Devontae Smith, who's
negativity,
a secondary
Brad Holmes.
wide receiver, those type of numbers, you got to repay a man. I mean, you got to pay the man that's
I don't want to be
all-pro.
so negative about it, but whatever Brad Holmes decides to pay Amon-Ra St. Brown, totally cool with it, totally fine with it.
Makes sense.
Don't want to be so negative, though.
Hey, Micah Parsons back in the news.
Man, negative man.
Micah Parsons says, hey, I want to be the Cowboys kick returner. How about this now?
This is going to be interesting.
Stop talking.
No, but this is going to be interesting. I think you are going to see
He's a bigger guy.
some different ways to do this new kickoff.
Yeah.
I think it was the 49ers.
They got the rugby guy?
Yes,
Yeah,
they got a
49ers.
rugby guy to return kicks.
Because this is essentially their kickoff,
Right.
essentially.
I think even talking about J-Mo returning kicks for Detroit, it's going to be a different way to do it, you know?
I like it, I don't like it. I like it from the standpoint that he's 6'3", 250, and oh, by the way, runs 4'3". Like, runs 4'3". So you're talking about a guy that can break some tackles early on, and his speed will carry him the distance. But at the same time, this is the best player on your team, one of the best defensive players in the league, if not the best one. I can't have him out there getting hurt on kick returns. That would be ignorant.
You got something, Pete?
Oh. Whoa.
Look at those eyes, man.
Yeah, he knows that looks like a guy that's about to get replaced and doesn't want to answer any questions.
That's a still picture.
No, okay, do you have the video? Play the video. Okay, you got it. Play the video. That's the video, Maz.
Stand.
Rehab's going well. Making good progress, coming along. Obviously spent a lot of time with the trainers here and strength staff, so feel like things are going well.
He's out.
Yeah, so I'm coming along well.
Hey, Daniel, and so then just to build on that, have they given you a target date of when you think you could be fully cleared?
Yeah, I mean, the plan is to be ready to go by training camp. So, yeah, that's what I'm shooting for and feel good about being ready.
At the end of the day,
take your glasses off.
They were bulging more than that, man. He's a guy that knows he's – but you know what? It'd be tough to be in that spot.
That's sad that you say that.
It'd be tough to be in that spot.
What's wrong with that guy?
It'd be tough to be in that spot. You're talking about a guy that just got drafted, just got paid, but now the owner –
I'm sure that'll show up on some podcast or something like that.
Owner wants him gone.
That'll be my new picture.
We should do it right now for you.
Some of our favorites.
For your bio. You got a team that doesn't want you. You got players that don't want you. You got the coach and Brian Daboll who does not like you at all. You have an owner who has given the GM
a new
permission.
picture for our biggest fans.
Go ahead, man.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, just saying.
The fans get with you, Ryan. They been messing with you.
What do you got, Maz? You done?
No.
I got nothing left.
I got a lot. I'm ready. I don't like you making fun of somebody.
Oh, okay.
Just because his eyes are bulging a little.
Just trying to, I'm just,
trying to get through.
Just trying to make it interesting or fun.
Sure,
or
no, I get it.
Entertaining.
Sure, make fun of somebody.
You know he can't talk about Danny Dimes.
Right. Just trying to make it a little
like I'm one of those guys that don't laugh at someone that trips and falls. And I know you are that kind of guy. I understand. I'm in the minority. I understand.
Matt sent us a text last night. Okay, I'm not going to say what the text was, but he sent us a text last night. I call him up immediately, and I start laughing. I didn't even say hello. I just I just pick up the phone and I start laughing. And Matt, I was just laughing my tail off.
I went from sad to I was laughing my ass off.
I was gonna call, but I was in the middle of watching American Idol, so I was gonna call you after the American Idol, and then I saw that you guys were laughing. I said, "Okay, cool." I thought it was some seriousness to that.
Oh, it is.
But point is, you
need to laugh sometimes.
You gotta laugh it off, man. Yeah. You gotta laugh it off.
I'm trying, brother. I'm trying. T. Higgins has been a name that's been out there that the Bengals are going to wind up trading. They franchise tagged him, but he wants out. Supposedly he wants out. Bengals say they're not going to trade him. They're going to just get this guy in camp. Eventually they'll sign him, and that's it. So T. Higgins, Lion fans, he ain't coming here.
Now, Bray, you tell me. He's the number one, isn't he?
He is.
Yeah.
T. Higgins is the number one. He was number one before Jamar Chase got there. He's been even better, too, because of Jamar Chase. But he can get paid. He can get paid. And he's trying to do one of two things. He's either trying to get the bag as a number one, or he's either trying to be the number one somewhere. So I think that's the space he's in right now. He has the stats, he has the resume, he has the skill. People know he's that type of wide receiver. So I would want wide receiver one money too, or I would want to be somewhere where I know I would be wide receiver number one.
All right, let me do this for you. Jet fans out there, I know there's a lot of you. There's a couple right here in this room. The Jets, as we just told you, are going back to the sack exchange years.
Lions are coming.
They're coming Thursday. Oh, shoot, the Jets are here today. Check it out.
The green collar, the white collar with the green ones, those are fire, man. Did you notice Garrett Wilson went back to his college number at Ohio State?
I didn't notice till you told me.
He went to 5. He was 17 the last 2 years, went to 5 this year. So
does that mean they're retiring 17?
Hey, they should. They should. Nah, 100%. That means it's back on the market, man. You know what I'm saying? It's always fun watching, somewhere where you play and someone's using your number or just wearing the number and they're out there balling. It's always good to see on the field. Man.
I love that. That's my helmet. Besides the white jet helmet with the football in it, the ones that Joe Willie Namath wore, and the ones that you wore, Bray. That's a beautiful helmet.
It's a
beautiful helmet, and that probably never should be changed.
I loved it.
And this one should be the alternate, but I'll take it. Much better than the last couple of years. That was a horrible reboot that they did, and now they're back. They're going to have a black uniform as well. And today happens to be the day, back in 1963, that the Jets were owned by Sonny Werblin and changed their name from the New York Titans, they were blue and gold, to the New York Jets, to Kelly green and white.
I wore those jerseys.
1963, today. So 61 years ago today is when the Jets' name was born. For the NFL, AFL first, and then NFL. So pretty cool. I like that. I can't wait for ours still. Rod Wood said it's going to be the best uniform in the league.
Thursday.
What are they going to do?
I think it's just going to, I don't know. I think it's just going to be something a little bit more crisp, maybe. I don't know.
Same old stuff.
It'll be cool.
All right, I look forward to it. Ray, you going to still go on Thursday night, or are you doing something else now?
So I'm not going to be able to go on Thursday night because I'll be going to DAC events for NFL alumni.
Nice.
At the DAC, it's a bunch of members from the DAC as well as former football players and their guests. Basically, it's just guys that either got drafted to the Lions, like Rob Sims will be there, Calvin Johnson will be there, or guys that still live in the city that were drafted. Jerome Bettis should be there. I'll be there. And we'll just, talk about the city. Talk about what it meant being from the city, talk about what it means being drafted to the city, and just kind of talking about the draft experience as a whole. Just a quick panel, some fun, some some conversation and some cocktails after.
And you're still going to be the second round for the Jets?
Yeah, so they don't have a second round pick, so it'll be the third round pick on the second day. But
so we're going to see you on Friday. Friday night.
You will see me Friday night.
When the Jets are up.
Yep.
And it's early in the third round.
100%.
Braylon Edwards is going to announce the pick.
I'm glad it's quick,
please
too.
Call me ahead. Text me ahead to who the pick is.
I will.
Tell me who the pick is. Text me ahead, man.
I'll give you a little insight.
That's going to be fun, man.
I'll give you a little. It is.
I wonder if you'll know.
No.
It's kind of like an envelope,
It's an
isn't
envelope.
it? Or
so like I did it once.
No, he's got to know because he's got to know how to pronounce the name and all. You're going to at least have 5 minutes ahead.
So what happened was when I did this before, I did at Radio City for the Jets in the 2010 draft. I drafted Joe McKnight out of USC, running back, rest in peace.
Yes.
But they just gave me the envelope. And I went up there, I opened the envelope and pulled out. Look, it's Joe McKnight.
Yeah.
It was an easy read. I knew who he was. But I hope I don't get up there, man. It's like, that's how much I have to look at the board. Like, see, like, the best available and keep those 5 names in my head. Like, So, yeah, but I'm a represent, though.
Well,
that's awesome.
Kuiper had a 3-round.
There you go.
We'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah, we will do it tomorrow. But I'm going to tell him who the 3rd-round pick of the New York Jets is. How about I do that?
I like that.
There we go.
How about I do that? Can I tell you the 3rd-round pick of the New York Jets is?
Him and Field Yates were going pick by pick. They were each taking a pick.
With the 72nd pick in the 3rd round, the New York Jets select Jaden Hicks, safety, Washington State.
Okay, there you go. The Cougars.
You do that.
There you go.
The Jets have a sneaky need at safety.
What are you going to wear?
What's it? I got some gear. I got some stuff for you, man. I got some new suits. Got some new pantsuits. It's gonna be.
By the way, little known fact about the Jets' 3rd round pick: they pick at number 72. The Detroit Lions pick at 73.
Wow.
Hey.
Wow, that's dynamite,
So maybe you'll know walking off the stage, hey, man, the Lions.
That's real. That's real.
Hey, you know what today also
I'm going to know who's going to be drafting, too. Go ahead, man.
39 years ago tonight. Epic. Thomas Hearns against Marvelous Marvin Hagler.
It was epic for a round.
The greatest short fight.
The greatest.
In history of boxing.
Not even close.
Unbelievable. I hope you guys can go on YouTube and check it out because it's unbelievable, and that's what made boxing like so much. It was my number one love. That and horse racing.
Yep.
Back in the day, the two crookedest sports, my two favorite loves, and
Figures.
boxing, what it's become now, is a sham.
That's because good old Sammy Maz.
Right, figures.
Boy, did I love boxing, man. Damn.
Oh, shit.
Breaking us out of here, bud.
Heck of a show on a Monday. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. Go outside and enjoy the day. That's what I'm planning on doing right now. It's warm. It's sunny. It's a nice day. Also, Red Wings tonight, baby.
And Tigers.
Montreal Canadiens and the Tigers play the World Series defending champs, the Texas Rangers and Adolis Garcia.
Let's go, baby.
Should be fun, man. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. Mike, we appreciate you. Pete Spivak, Uncle Maz on the couch, and Pete with the Daniel Jones eyes. My brother from another mother, Ryan Ermanni. To the left, we are Woodward Sports, Ryan Ermanni, and Braylon Edwards, and Tom Mazaway.
Very good.